Hi, everybody. Before we start the show, I want to invite you high-achieving women to my summer series. And this is what it is. So it starts July 18th, and it's going to go for 4 weeks, and it's 4 open coaching calls with different topics. And all the information will be on the show notes and anywhere you can find me on social media, but I'll explain a bit here. Because over the years, I have spent thousands of dollars with coaches to learn time management, to learn how to decide my life, create more time, create more money, what it looks like to be fulfilled and have true happiness, how to have deep connection in relationships with myself, with my partner, with the people in my life, what that looks like with my daughter. And I am giving it all to you for free. You can come to one of the calls. You can come to all the calls. You can come and just listen. You can opt to be coached on something you're struggling with. The link to register will be in the show notes, and all the dates and times will be in the show notes. But it is time. It is money. It is deciding your happiness, and it is about deciding your relationships. And I wanted to do this because I want to fast track you. I want you to understand that you have all the power to live happier, more fulfilled, create the money you want to make. If you're wasting time, how to fix that. I don't want you to go through what I went through. And so I'm giving it all away to you with 4 sessions, and more information will be in the show notes, but I wanted to just stop by and tell you what's happening for this summer, and hopefully I'll see you there, and let's get on with the show. You are listening to the You Get to Decide podcast with your host, Allison Cratchola Gallagher, episode number 7. Welcome to the You Get to Decide podcast. This is your life and business coach and host, Allison Cratchola Gallagher. I help all you high achievers out there feel content and confident so that you can feel happy now. Then you're just going to go out and create the life of your dreams faster. Through my journey, coaches have helped me completely transform my life, and now I get to help you do the same. Every week, we're going to talk tools, tips, and tricks to help you take consistent action based off the life you want. Because you really do get to decide your life. And I am here to remind you of that every week. So let's get started. Hi, everyone. So I assume if you are listening to this podcast, you want to learn how to decide your life. And I want to talk about today a powerful tool that we use in coaching, because when we want to create new and different results in our life that maybe we have no business trying to attain because it's a very big goal or a very big change in our life, going back to school, creating a certain amount of money in our business, dropping a certain amount of weight, leaving a certain relationship that we know we shouldn't be in, finding the husband or wife of our dreams. Things that are maybe we're struggling to attain, or leveling up in our business, right? So maybe we're a solopreneur, but we want to create a big business with lots of employees and own a building and all these things, and we don't know how we're going to get there. This work, what I'm going to talk about today, is really the best use of your time, okay? So I'm going to talk about, it's called the belief scale. And I use this with my coaching clients, and I'm sure my coaches have used this with me. I got it from somewhere, but it's the belief scale. So we have beliefs that have created the results in our life right now. If you don't like your results, well, what are you believing? What are you believing about your capabilities? What are you believing about your life? What are you believing about your time? What are you believing about how smart you are, how disciplined you are? Our results are direct correlation to our beliefs, okay? What I'm going to talk about today helps you create new beliefs to create new results. And it takes work. And this might sound foreign, so you might have to come back and listen to it over and over, or write down some of the things that I'm talking about. I pray that I explain it in a way that makes sense, because this is work that I've been doing for a really long time. And it's something that I do every day. So I kind of have it on repeat, right? But this might be brand new and you've never learned it before. But the belief scale is so powerful. As I help my clients dig into beliefs that don't serve them to create new ones, it takes, I check in. Where are you on the belief scale? I want you to be at a 10, which is 100% belief for whatever thought we're trying to believe, basically, okay? And the reason why this is difficult is because if we want to create new results in our life, our brain likes to go to the past to predict the future, right? So if you're telling it the future is going to be massively different, it's going to tell you all the reasons it's not going to be. And I have a tool you can use to counteract your brain that's going to do that to you. And the belief scale is where you're going to check in with where am I on this belief. And there's no right or wrong answer. It's going to come from your intuition. It's going to come from your body. It's going to come from you, okay? But I want you to be at 100% belief, at a 10 on the belief scale for every belief that you can attain any goal you want, right? Okay, so the first thing is, if you want to set a goal, all right, I believe if you've only made 25K in your business and you want to believe you can make 100K. Okay, and this is like a massive difference in your life. Or I want to believe that I can lose 50 pounds for the last time and then keep it off. Okay, or I just want to believe I can lose 100 pounds. Or I want to believe that in the next 365 days, I'm going to find the man or woman of my dreams. But you don't believe that. Maybe you're on a 6 or a 5 or a 4 on the belief scale. And your brain's offering you doubt. That's not true, but you want to believe it. Because if you believe that thought, you're going to show up very different in your life. I believe that I offer massive value in every room I'm in. I have no proof of that, ladies and gentlemen. I just decided to believe it because it's more fun. Networking feels lighter. I'm excited to speak to people. It's a thought that serves me and any of my potential clients I can help. If I don't think I have any value to offer, I'm probably not going to even open my mouth when I meet someone. So I have decided that anything any other humans are doing, I can do too. They can do it, I can do it. So if I have a thought that I want to create a bottom line in my business, a certain gross amount in my business, and I have no evidence that I can do that, me personally, I look at other people. Oh, but they're doing it. And my coach told me I could do it, right? And they did it. I can do it too. It might be a different road to get there, but I can do it. Okay. So, but I've done this work. The work I'm about to go over with you, I've done and I do. Okay. So I want you to think about a goal you have that feels super scary, that your brain's like, no way. You're at like a 4 on the belief scale. Okay? Write down that sentence. Write down the goal. Write down the thought. I believe I can lose 50 pounds for the last time. Or I believe I can go to a party and not overeat. I believe I can make 6 figures in my business. Or multiple 6 figures. I believe I can make 200K in the next 365 days. Okay? Or whatever, I believe that I can find the man or woman of my dreams in the next 6 months. And if you don't believe it, where are you on the belief scale? And then I want you to write down how it makes you feel. Does it feel dreadful? Does it feel frustrating? There might be excitement there too, right? But to start this out, there might be absolute doubt. Well, write down the doubtful thoughts. But I've all the dates I've been on in the last 30 days have been shit. Or I've never been able to lose the weight and keep it off. I'm not capable. I'm not disciplined. I don't work out enough. Or I've only made 25K in my business. I have no idea how to make 100K. I don't have enough time. My products aren't good enough. I'm not good at sales. Whatever your brain is coming up with, that's creating doubt that you can believe this thought or you can accomplish this thing, write them down. then your job is to write an alternate counteracting thought, okay, to it. Well, I've lost 50 pounds at least once, or I know how to lose 10 pounds, right? You have to start small with the evidence, okay? I've lost 10 pounds, and I've lost 50 pounds how many times? So now I just have to figure out how to keep it off, right? I've done the work. I know how to do the work. Do an alternate thought to every doubtful thought. Create evidence. Poke holes in the doubt. That's what you're doing. Okay? I know how to make 25K. So I just have to do that 3 more times. If I know how to make 25K, I know how to create money. So, and I know that person's doing it in their business. And I know that person's done it. So maybe I can do it too. Find small pieces of evidence to counteract the massive doubt that you have. Nothing has gone wrong because you have doubt. That's your brain predicting the future from the past. That's all it's doing. Okay, so it's your job to take you closer to the 100% belief, right? So if you're at a 4 on the belief scale that you can lose 50 pounds for the last time, but then you start to look at, well, I know I've lost 50 pounds multiple times. Okay. So I know how to lose 50 pounds. So I know how to do it. And I can be disciplined for 60 days. I've seen that in my life, exercising or on a certain food plan. So I know how to do it for 60 days. So maybe I can do it for 90 days. Maybe I can do it for 120 days if I can do it for 60 days, right? Oh, I'm disciplined in other ways in my life. I'll never forget talking to my coach and I still have this belief. I never forget telling my coach I'm inconsistent. I'm not consistent. My brain loves to tell me I'm not consistent. And believe me, I could show you a lot of ways I'm not. But you know what my coach said to me? Allison, you've been married to the same man for almost 20 years. That's consistency. You're a mom. You got up every day and mommed. Consistently. You're a mom. You get dressed every day. You brush your teeth. You are a consistent human. You have to show your brain evidence of where you're consistent, right? And I saw myself with this podcast. What I'm doing, I'm coming from a place of doubt that I'm consistent. I know myself so well. I am recording a lot of I'm recording a lot of podcasts to keep them stacked away because I am scared that I'm not consistent and I'm scared I'm going to miss a week. And I know why I'm showing up because I have doubt in my consistency. It's one of the reasons why I delayed in starting a podcast because I believe you have to release them every week to create sustainability, to create continued connection with your audience. Like that's just a belief. There's probably people that are very successful business owners that drop a podcast every few weeks and it's totally inconsistent and they have an audience. But I have this deep belief that you have to be consistent, that you have to drop once a week. And so from that fear that I'm not consistent, I'm banking them away. And I know why I'm doing it. I can just decide that I'm consistent and have faith in myself and trust and create a schedule of putting them together, right? But I have doubt. I'm like at a 6, between a 6 and a 7 in my belief that I'm consistent. Yeah, I'm about a 6 and a 7. So what would my life look like if I was at 100% consistency, if I felt I was 100% consistent? I guarantee it, I would have started a podcast 2 years ago. So that's how powerful this work is, okay? So we're going to go from the beginning. We're going to start with a new sentence, a new goal, a new thought. I can do this. I am this person. Whatever the thought is that you want to believe about yourself, I am capable. I am capable of creating $100,000 in my business. I'm capable of creating $300,000 in my business. If you're at $100,000, your brain is like, oh, we can make $100,000, right? Like that's your floor level. Your brain saw you could do it, so it's going to tell you that's all you can do. Okay, it's not gonna believe you that you can create $300,000. It's gonna freak out. No, we don't know how to do that. There's not enough time. I don't have enough employees. I'm not smart enough. I don't have the right product. Or I don't own the building yet. I can't create that level of business. And that's why I say new level, new devil. This is one of the reasons why I say that. And I know a lot of people have heard me say that. And that came from my business coach. But because when we hit a new level, our brain's going to tell us what happened in the past is going to happen in the future, right? So if you've already made $100,000 and it's not a big deal to you, it's going to trigger you when you go to make 200, 300,000. You're going to have to create new beliefs because you don't have evidence. That's it. But I look to others as my evidence. Well, if they can do it, I can do it. I have decided that anyone on this planet doing what I want to do, there are enough evidence that I can figure it out too. It might be a different road. It might take me longer. The road might look different, but that doesn't mean I can't do it. And then everything's an experiment. We get paid through the value that we offer to the world. And so I show up and I offer value. And that could be through in-person seminars. That could be through online webinars. That could be networking events, speaking engagements. I do an email newsletter. Now I have a podcast. These are all the ways that I offer value. So it's always good to assess, as you're building a business, where do you think your clients are coming from? So you look back and see, I have that information. And for the most part, right now, my clients are coming from my in-person or my online webinars, which makes me happy because that's something that I absolutely love to do. I still post on social media, do the podcast, do the newsletter, do all the things. I do want to offer value, but I know that those are where my clients are coming from for the most part. And so maybe I should do more of those. I do a lot of them and I do love doing them. So it's just good information. I'm doing things that align with me, that feel good in how I want to build my business. I'm not going to do something that doesn't align with me in my marketing. So I'm going to continue to do these marketing tactics that align with me, that I'm enjoying doing, I'm having fun doing. I do them at a larger scale. I will show up consistently, and I believe over time I will build my business. People believe that I talk to so many, photographers that are just, they feel like their clients are coming from social media and that they have to post on social media to find clients, but they hate social media. It is a belief that you have to be consistent on social media to build a business. That is a belief. If it doesn't align with you, is it serving you to try to struggle to show up there because you believe that's where your clients are coming from? People had big photography businesses before social media even existed. That is enough evidence that you do not need. There's other, I talk to other coaches that hate social media. I know coaches that are making 6-7 figures that aren't on social media. They find their clients other ways. It is a belief. So if you do not like social media, I want to challenge you that if you are stuck because you think that that's where you should be and you're trying to show up and you hate it and it's a struggle and you're suffering through it, well, is that belief serving you? And what do you want to believe? I want to believe that I can find clients without using social media. Well, then it's up to you to be at 100% of that belief. Where are you? Are you at a 4? Well, have all your clients come from social media? No, I found 3 other clients from these other places. All right, well, that helps you get to your belief at 100% that you don't need to use social media to find clients. I talked to a photographer who's older than me, who's very successful, but wanted to up-level her business, raise her price. And her brain kept telling her she doesn't know enough. And when I talked to her, she kept getting like all these certifications or tutorials or going to all these classes. And I'm like, what are you doing? And I saw her work. I'm like, you know enough. Her brain was keeping her stuck by telling her she doesn't know enough. And she was just listening to the thought. She was believing it. I'm like, you get to decide that you know enough. How can you believe that? Where are you on the belief scale? Right? I want to get you at 100% that you believe you know enough to level up in your business the way you want to level up. You can still learn more, but you can level up right now. You know enough. And she was staying stuck because of the thought that her brain was telling her because she wanted to do something new in her business. Right? Her brain's like, we don't know how to do this. We don't do this. The past didn't equal the future. She wanted a different future. And it just kept telling her she didn't know enough. And then she's staying stuck in all these classes and tutorials and all the paying for all these certifications or whatever. So her job was to believe that she knew enough, and then to show her brain evidence wherever doubt came in. Okay, so what are the doubtful thoughts? Whatever the doubtful thoughts were, I don't even know. I can't even think of any. But to counteract them, counteract those thoughts, find an alternate thought, and then take massive action to show your brain evidence. When you create action, you're going to create momentum to help with your belief. You have to create a goal. You have to break down the goal. If you have a final goal, let's break it down in 30 days. I'm going to do these 10 things that go with this belief, right? So if you want to believe that the woman or man of your dreams is out there, the next 30 days, I'm going to go on 15 dates. And what does that look like? And I'm just going to experiment. Okay, you got to create massive action. Okay, so if you've only made $25K in your business and you want to make $100K, well, I would just pick things. I am going to go to 12 networking events, and I'm going to just find them, and I'm just going to show up and talk to people. I'm going to put this many posts out on social media, and I'm going to do this event, and I'm going to partner with this person in the next 30 days, next 60 days, the next 90 days. Okay, you have to create massive action. You can't sit back in a room and create a thought without taking action. Okay? So if you want to lose 50 pounds for the, last time, you have to break down the goal into smaller steps. What am I going to do in the next 30 days? And just then assess. Well, this food plan worked for me, and it felt good in this food plan, so I'm going to do this food plan, and I'm going to work out this many days. Okay, but to go, you have to work on this belief. I worked on some of my beliefs daily, and some of them I still struggle with, but overall, I'm like, if they can do it, I can do it. It's just an experiment for me, because the road may not look the same. I just did this This was actually very difficult because I couldn't go outside of myself for the belief. I just did this with a belief about losing weight. I always did heavy restriction in order to get to the weight that I feel good in. That was my only evidence. And it's so hard when it comes to losing weight because genetics are involved, metabolism, body makeup, right? I'm the only one that has my body and my body makeup. I don't know. How do we know if other people are made up genetically and it's all the same as mine? I had this belief that I have to restrict heavily, eat a very little amount of fat, and eat very rigid in order to be the weight I want to be. But I am so done with doing heavy restriction. I'm so done. But I still have a certain weight that I would love to be, that I feel my best at. I had to decide to create the belief that I can eat flavorful, colorful, I can have food freedom and still be at that weight. And I did not believe it. And I was like, I can't go outside of myself for this belief at all. And not about my own body. My brain fucked with me. My brain's like, no one else has your body, so you can't create this belief. My brain loved it. And I was like, you know what? Enough people are doing this that I'm just going to try it. And I created a food plan. I did some research and I created a food plan that felt good and felt I was eating all different foods. I had a belief that I can't eat I can't eat any starch, no dairy, and very little fat. I can only eat vegetables and lean protein, fish and very lean protein in order to be the certain weight I wanted to be. Meanwhile, then I'd crave food. Then I'd be, deprived and I'd live miserably. Or then I would eat everything that wasn't nailed down. And I'm like, I'm not living this pattern anymore. I have to create different beliefs. This is not serving me anymore. So I created a food plan and it's all experimental because I'm creating a new belief I've never created before. So I have to be open to experimenting and trying new things and then coming back to the drawing board. And how does that feel? What is the result there? But I gave myself at least 30 days, 45 days to eat the same food plan, all these different colorful foods, but overall the same type of calories and keeping in a certain guideline that was way more flexible than I was doing, eating way more foods than I had ever eaten, and give my body time to adjust. It took well over 30 days to feel different. And I checked in with myself, but I was creating a new belief that I can eat more food, eat more fat, eat ice cream, eat breads, and lose weight. And guess what? I can. I am. I did. Right? So I'm like, I'm creating a new result in my life that serves me, and it makes me so happy, right? But I had to check in. And I have to say, if you're going to do this work, there's going to be confusion. You're going to have confusion. You're creating new habits. Your brain's going to say, this isn't working. I'm not sure if this is working. Is this the right move? Is this... I was living in so much confusion creating this new belief because I've been meal prepping for 20 years, the same foods. Well, I am eating brand new foods in my life overall, more routinely, and I'm not quite sure how to food prep some of these foods. I'm not sure even what I want to food prep. I'm not even sure the volume that I'm going to eat. I'm eating different volume. I knew how much food I needed, when I needed to food prep, I knew I was in such a routine. Well, I'm creating new routines, so that creates confusion. And I knew I was in confusion. Someone that knew I was on this journey asked me, how's it going? And I said, I'm in confusion. But I didn't make it mean that something was wrong. I said, I can do this and be confused. I can still persevere with the plan and have confusion. There's going to be confusion on the road to new beliefs. That's going to be a part of it. And when I saw that I was in confusion, I'm like, that's all part of it. I can still persevere. And I'm still in confusion, but I'm feeling lighter. I'm feeling excited I'm going to figure out a new routine because that's who I am. But I do this work all the time. And all right, I want to go back. You're going to write the new belief because I didn't really finish fully. You're going to write the new belief, all the feelings that are going to come up and the thoughts that are creating those feelings. Dread. Oh, this can't happen for me. Well, it's happened for other people, right? You're going to counteract the thought. You're going to write an alternate thought to get you to 100% belief. Okay, you're going to write all the alternate thoughts to poke holes in that belief, that 4 on the belief scale. You're going to poke holes in those beliefs so that you can fill it with evidence to get you to a 7, an 8, a 9, a 10. And you're going to, I would tell you to do this, check in with this every day, 3 times a week. Write it down. How am I feeling with that belief today? Right? And then, like I said, you're going to take massive action. Because that massive action, when you check in weekly or every 3 days, you're going to write it down. It's going to create more of a belief because you're taking action. And from that action, you're going to get some type of results. And the results are what going to create more of a belief that you can get the ultimate result you want. Okay? So you're going to counteract those other thoughts, right? You're going to write a conflicting thought to poke holes in the doubt. Okay? And the action you're going to take in the other direction, in the direction you want to go, okay? Then what's so powerful, I don't know if you've ever done this, is you're going to write a note from your future self who's at 100% belief. How are they showing up, okay? Or they've already created the result. What are they saying to you? How do they show up in their day? Right? And that's what's keeping me going. I want to meet the Allison that has created the clients in her business, that's created the business she wants to create, that's living free from being a prisoner of food, that's hanging out at the weight she loves. I want to meet her because I know it's possible. It's possible. And I've created the evidence that it is possible for myself. Okay? What do you want to believe is possible for you? Your work is to write it down because you get to decide. What do you believe is possible? Anything is possible. Write it down, and then your work is to believe it. But checking in with that belief scale will help you see where you are, and then you'll see the work you have to put in. And it is creating massive action behind it. Okay, but you're every new level, new devil. So we're always the doubt is going to creep in because we don't have evidence that we can do the next step. So I hope that this makes sense to you. I want you to know that I've done so much of this work that this changes your life. And this is the stuff that you imagine knowing how to create any result in your life because you know how to create any belief you want to believe about going back to school, right? Your brain's telling you there's not enough time, that, your kids will suffer, whatever it is. But there's other people on this planet doing the same as me and you or more in the same situation or in a worse situation. I promise you. And that for me is enough to get curious on what more I can do or how I can figure it out. Right? And imagine creating a belief that you can go back to school and then creating the excitement of what that looks like and then taking action. Taking action from a place of excitement for going back to school because a year ago you didn't, or, having that belief and taking that action a year from now. But today you didn't even believe it was possible, but you created the belief and then you took the action. This is how you change your life. I promise you. And imagine if you're a parent, then being able to show your children how to do this. When your brain is fucking with you, right? Because our kids have the same brain we do. Their brain is going to talk them out of creating a new goal. Nothing has gone wrong. But then teaching them how to see their thoughts, decide what they want to believe, and then create the energy moving towards being at 100% belief. My job with this podcast is to create 100% belief for you that you get to decide your life. I don't know where you're at. Some of you are going to be at a 2, a 4. Some of you that I've worked with or know me may be at a 7, But my job every week with this podcast is working on your belief scale to get you at 100% belief that you can absolutely decide your life all day, every day. Because I'm telling you that your whole life will change. You're going to see things that no one else sees that you can accomplish in your life. I don't even know what that means in your life that you get to decide. I don't know what's best for you or what you want to accomplish, what your goals are, your dreams. But I want you to believe that it's all possible. It's all possible. So if you do this work, please check in with me. I want to hear how it's going. I want to hear where you're stuck. You're going to write down the new belief that you think you want to believe is possible. Okay? Then your feelings and your thoughts that are going to that are bringing you at a 4, bringing you at a 3, bringing you at a 5. Why don't you believe it? Write down the thoughts. Write down the evidence that you have that you can't. It's not possible. And then you're going to write the conflicting sentence that's going to go in the direction that you want to go. Well, I've lost 50 pounds before. I've lost 10 pounds. I know I've lost 10 pounds. I know other people have lost 50 pounds and kept it off. Or I know other people have married the person of their dreams from whatever site or from going to these networking events. So maybe it's possible for me too. Why is it possible? Right? Write down why it isn't possible, but also write down why it is possible. Okay? Why it is possible is all the alternate thoughts. Why it could be possible. That's what's going to poke holes to get you to a 10. But you're going to take massive action behind it. Create actions you're going to take in that direction. Okay? And then a note from your future self is already there. I do this so much. My future self is cheering me on. She's probably even given me some advice. Okay, so this is simple work. It's not easy, but it is powerful work, the belief scale. So, and share this podcast with anyone you think that needs it, that could use some help. I would love for you to give me a review. Tell me how you feel, the good, bad, the ugly, because I want to learn from it. Right? I had someone say to me that podcast, that they said something about all the ums, that, there's programs that will remove when you hesitate and all the ums and all the things. And I'm not using that. I'm doing this all myself. And I thought, if I worry about how many times I'm saying and I make it mean I'm not good enough, I'll never record another podcast again. No. I'm going to keep going through all the hesitations and through the mistakes and through the ums, because I have a belief that I have value to offer, that people need what's coming out of my mouth. And that belief is stronger than that people are going to never listen to me again because of the amount of times I say, I hesitate, the audio isn't perfect, whatever it is. My belief is so strong that I have knowledge to offer, that I have value to offer everyone I meet, that I'm willing to, not sound perfect in my podcast. Or, I read my newsletter today that went out and I used the wrong word. Well, it's just learning. Okay, Allison, just make sure you're rereading your emails, but no shame in that game. My desire to help people is at 100%, and I'm willing to do it wrong in order to learn how to do it right. The same thing with my food journey. I was willing to figure it out. I was willing to eat more calories and see if I could still lose weight. I was willing to do it wrong in order to figure out how to do it right. Same with building the business I want to build. Because I'm at 100% belief that I am capable of building that business. So mistakes mean something very different. Showing up in imperfection means something very different when I am at 100% belief that I'm capable. A mistake is just a part of it. That's it. And that's how I want you to see your mistakes as well. Okay? So do this work. Decide that anything you want to believe is possible. Do the work to create that belief at 100%. Take massive action and go live your best life. See you next time, guys. Bye. Hold up. Before you go, are you ready to accelerate the road to your goals? Or have you lost momentum and need some extra help? Or maybe you just know you're meant for more but don't know where to start. I can help you. I invite you to a free call with me where we're going to talk about where you are and where you want to be. And at the end of that call, you're going to have a ton of clarity, you're going to feel relieved, and you're going to know the steps to take to get you where you want to go. And then you decide if working with me is the right fit or not. No sweat. Go to my website, AllisonGallagher.com/coaching, or the link to my calendar and to connect with me is in the show notes. It is time to stop dreaming about the life you want and start taking steps in that direction. Let's go. This is Allison Cratchola Gallagher and the You Get to Decide podcast. Thanks for listening. I'll see you guys later. Bye.